You know, it's just crazy how things in life play out the way it's supposed to, the way it needs to, but it plays out. You know, you put in the work, you get the results. I always tell people. And just seeing how far my efforts have finally came, it's like, wow. It's finally gotten to the point to where I need to protect what I've put so much effort into, so much time. You know, people tell me all the time, Miles, I can't believe you daily drive that. Miles, I can't believe you pretty much you use your car. And don't get me wrong, I still am one for using what I have. Don't put that past me. But it still also comes back to the fact that you have to protect your assets. You have to protect what you put your effort into. And driving this car every day with the way my lifestyle set up had just became so much of a hassle and so much of a hazard for my mental well-being for the car and pretty much what the cars became. So my entire goal now is to step into a new light of the car scene, or more or less myself, to better put that. The car's treated me well. It's been a great daily, but it's time I give it the respect it needs, and it's time it becomes a purebred show car. It's time that it no longer is treated as if it is just like a normal vehicle, because at this point it's not. You know, I feel like the amount of work I put into it up until this point has made it something in totally its own level. So with respect to that, I now retire my Eclipse from being my daily driver. But where one door closes, another will open.
Well, cat's out the bag, guys. Uh, let's go and kick the video off and just see where it goes. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's your boy here, ACG, Afro Car Guy. If it's the first time stopping by, go and hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you're notified on my videos and when they drop. Let's jump straight into today's video. Today is kind of a revolution or an evolution, whatever you want to take. Something is a new experience as of now. The Eclipse is officially retired. It is no longer my daily. It is officially a purebred show car as of now. Now, anyone who personally knows me kind of already seen this coming, or already knows of this car, but now it's time for the rest of the world to understand what's up with the 4G. So I guess let's just start off from the very top. One day leaving work, I went to start my car up, and you guys probably know because I get it all the time. Miles, I can believe you drive that every day. Miles, you drive that every day? I did. It wasn't much thought to me, but as time went on, and of course the more money you put into it, it's like, it gets a little anxiety inducing when you are driving pretty much a car that is worth itself threefold. So one day when I went out of work and I'm on my lunch break and I went to go start my car up, my air suspension didn't come online. Okay. Turn off, turn back on, still nothing. Turn off, turn back on, still nothing. One more try, still nothing. So I go back into work and I come back out because pretty much my car is bricked at this point. Well, it turns back on, wow, so okay, it just fixed itself. It doesn't matter. But I think this is more of a realization for me. Miles, I think you might need another car. So in realizing that, I'm kind of excited. You know, I've been driving the Eclipse for the past 5 years. I've built it up from pretty much bone stock up to where it is now. And now I was like, yes, you know, I have the financial capability to bring on a new load. Well, reality kind of had to slap me in the face real quick. So a car I've been dying for the longest that I was under the assumption I could afford right now, the Lexus RC350, specifically the 2016-2015 platform, the one with a slide engage cluster, okay? So found one in my area, white, red interior, went to go check it out. The price tag on that car was about $23,000, and this is kind of like my first legitimate car I would have bought purely by myself. So in doing so, I didn't take into account for the extra, you know, dealer fees and taxes and all the other stuff that adds to the actual price of it. So I was under assumption of looking at about $400 a month for pretty much a whole nother sports car. And then I didn't calculate, like I said, the extra following money into that. So that would have been about a $600 car, no, pretty much a $30,000 car. Doing that quick math, I had to let it go and had to be practical and responsible and say, this isn't for me right now. But now that I know what I can physically do, let me see what else I can do. So a few more days of driving the Eclipse, I'm still got the itch of wanting something newer, but now I want something that can answer my needs. So anyone who knows me knows I'm in school right now at the Aviation Institute of Maintenance. Where I stay, the school is almost a whole 45 minutes in one way, a whole hour to work, and obviously I have to do that every day until I graduate. Well, driving the Eclipse every day on such a routine schedule, yeah, it held up, but that's not something you want to put a car like this through every single day if you don't have to. So now let's think. I want something new, I want something fuel efficient, and I want something that doesn't just say budget car. I want something that actually like it aged well with time. Okay, so let's just answer the first thing, hybrid. I jump on Google, look for hybrids, okay? You're never gonna catch me in a Prius. All right, so that's out. I saw like Kia Optima hybrids, Hyundai hybrids, you know, other type of hybrids. But to be honest, I'm bougie, I admit it, I can't help it. I need something that if I still put on a suit and tie in, I can pull up into a fancy restaurant and still look decent without being in a rowdy sports car. Okay, so scrolling through, I didn't realize, but it's crazy how the universe works. I get to the Lincoln MKZ, and I'm like, you can't even tell it's a hybrid for one, and then two, it's aged so well for a car that's pretty much almost as old as the Eclipse. Three, I think I said two. Three is an underdog because see, people sleep on these cars because I guess only old people are supposed to drive them. Yeah, no. Four, man, this car checks off so many boxes in my head. It's a luxury car. So altogether, the Lincoln already had a bunch of stuff going for it. On top of the price tag, you can find these for as low as $12,000, $10,000, and even about that. But let's get back to it. So after I found the one within my area for a decent price, I went to go check it out. This one was $12,000 more or less. By the time everything was done, $16,000, but still great for a car of this stature. The bang for your buck is out of this world. And I say it's not just this one. These Lincolns go for great prices because at the end of the day, you strip away that Lincoln badge, it's still just a Ford. This basic bone car underneath it is more or less a Ford Taurus platform, just with Lincoln badge and obviously the luxury features of a luxury brand. Okay, so after all the numbers and stuff checked out, realizing what I was capable of from the Lexus fallout, I now knew what I was getting into with the Lincoln. Once the numbers came back and matched up to what I wanted to see, well, sir, send it. So I've had the car for about a month now. Like I said, I haven't told anybody yet. I wasn't getting this car for a clout move. Okay, well, I'm posting it on YouTube now because obviously y'all gonna be wondering what's going on in the clip. So now that I'm used to the car and stuff, I'm sharing it with y'all. Like I said, it was never a clout move, so I never jumped right up and just showed it on Instagram and stuff. It was more of like a responsibility or more of a practical move for me because it gets 37 miles per gallon. You can barely tell it's almost 10 years old. All the luxury features, still under warranty, stupid cheap for my consideration. It's pretty gnarly, guys. So with all that being said, I was crazy not to say yes. And then it just does everything so right. Everything on the car is pretty much automatic, and it's like, it's crazy to think that these cars are so slept on. I guess they're not really slept on because now I'm driving, I see pretty much everyone with it. But for a car to answer everything I needed in my current lifestyle, this was the car. Only way I'd ever get rid of it is honestly for a Tesla. And other than that, I pictured it staying in my collection for a long time because it just does everything freaking right. And I know most people are probably scared of the battery lifetime on these cars or any type of hybrid. Well, I can't speak for all other hybrid cars, but I do know for this one specifically, since it does share the same platform as the Ford Taurus hybrid, the battery cell is located in the trunk, and I'll show you that in a minute. And it's probably no bigger than like if from my chest to here and probably like wide, it's not that big. Let's just say like 4 shoe boxes back to back, and it goes for about $600 something on eBay or wherever you can find it. It doesn't cost nearly as much people say, oh, thousands of dollars for a replacement. And even then, whether it be like a few $100 to replace a battery or a few thousand, like $2,000, $3,000, it's not gonna get crazy. I think that's still a bang for your buck because now you have a battery in the car that'll go for another 10 years. in a platform that's pretty much already reliable as heck, it's a no-brainer for me. It's the perfect daily in all aspects of my lifestyle. I was gonna say anyone's lifestyle, but I don't know. Everyone has different perceptions of how they want to do things, and this is it right here, guys. So let's get into it and show you what's all inside the car. So, like I said before, the Eclipse is officially retired. I do start it up on the weekends and stuff. You know, how it is when you have a second car. So it still starts up. I still take it out and things like that. But for the most part, I won't be driving it, clearly as a daily driver anymore. Purely for shows, purely for track day events. And yes, I did say track day events. Turbo kit is coming soon. That video should actually be dropping after this one in another week, and giving any 4G lovers the idea of what it takes to pretty much turbocharge their platform. And like I said, within another week or two, y'all be seeing pretty much a track day event of this car finally being put to use. I'm not going stupid crazy because like I said, it still is a one-on-one type of build, but I still like to actually utilize what I've built. So stay up on that, guys. Let's get back to this. So for anyone who doesn't know in general, this is a 2013 Lincoln MKZ hybrid. From my understanding, it comes with a 2-liter EcoBoost motor made into a hybrid system that gets about 450 miles of range and about 37 miles per gallon, obviously depending on how well you drive. Like I said, this platform is still shared with the Ford Taurus, so I don't know if the figures still match up the same, but I'm sure they do since they're essentially the same car. Okay, so here's the interior. Car makes about 180 horsepower from my understanding. I love the lights, how they're hidden inside the fabric. We'll get back there in a second. And the panoramic sunroof is freaking enormous, guys. So let's start from starting it. So here we go. Like I said, everything's pretty much automatic, so the steering wheel will get into its normal position. Actually, I'm gonna close the door and get it back to how it's supposed to be. There it is. Yeah, I was touching too much stuff trying to record the videos earlier. But okay, so so everything's pretty much can be done straight through the steering wheel itself. On the left side, you have this 1 gauge screen that pretty much shows, like I said, your miles per gallon. I'm actually short of 37 miles per gallon, but it's possible. It's possible. I should have just already said 36, but you can scroll through. So the first line right here shows pretty much your engine power, how much power is actually being utilized from the engine. When the battery right there is fully charged or charged in general from the hybrid system, then the second line right there will go up and down, going back and forth with the engine to pretty much give you the best, obviously, gas mileage. It is not a plug-in hybrid, if that was anyone's thinking. I don't know how anyone thinks hybrids work, but this is a drive-by hybrid. I've just made that up, pretty much meaning you drive it and the battery is regened through your driving, pretty much. Like I said, these are different screens to show you the different type of stuff you would see, your gas mileage or different interpretations of how the battery works with the car. If you scroll back through, like I said, that's the average mileage. And for anyone also, like I said, in the market for an MKZ, this car only takes about $27 to fill up, and I get about almost 500 miles worth of range. That's pretty impressive, all things considering. It may not be a Tesla, but that's a bang for your buck. Car is also equipped with a lot of safety features. Like, you have to go out of your way to pretty much wreck a vehicle like this. Get the air a little colder. Okay, so for one feature, it has lane keep assist. You tap this little button at the very end and you'll see it come up on the screen over there. And like I said, if anyone doesn't know what lane keep assist is, that's pretty much a protection system or a system in the car that keeps the car within highway lanes or pretty much any lane to keep you on the road. It won't allow you to swerve off the road. Has high beams, obviously, but what's fun about this, I don't know if all cars do this, or any newer cars, or any type of foreign luxury vehicles, but this one has automatic high beam activation, a high beam system. So pretty much the car will turn on the high beams when it feels like it's needed, and it will even turn them off when oncoming cars are coming in the opposite direction, so it doesn't just shine right in their faces. I freaking love that. So I don't even have to touch that lever at all, other than turning on my the lane keep assist. Obviously, like most luxury cars, apparently, because this was like this on the Lexus, you flip to go turn your signal on, and the switch will flip back automatically into place on its own. So you don't have to, it won't stay in position. Weird at first, totally used to it now. Also comes with memory seating. I got several, like 1 is my driving, 2 is for chilling and eating, and 3 goes all the way back like a recliner for me to sleep. So this took this headrest out because The way it was designed is it makes me sit, I don't know, it'll make me sit like this, and that just wasn't comfortable at all, so I went ahead and took that out. It's in the trunk. On the opposite screen, you pretty much get like all the other controls in the car. I mostly leave it on the driver's climate or the climate control, because that way I don't have to reach all the way to the screen and trying to figure out what to do. It just makes it much easier to flip up, down, up, to do everything I need to do. But car also has a few other things. Like say you have your nav system in here. This just give you a GPS, and usually it'll show you like the speed limit of the area you're in. Phone, entertainment doesn't really do much like you think it would. Like you think you better pick a song through entertainment and stuff like that, but everything's pretty much done through the infotainment system. I don't know which system this is from Ford, but I never had a problem with it. I generally do like it because, like I said, it does everything right more or less the first time. So that's about it in that side of the screen. The car says on the speedometer it's 120 miles per hour, but honestly, it has more get up than an Eclipse. But then again, you have to think it's using an electric motor and it's turbocharged. So it's not exactly fast, but it's not exactly the slowest thing out there, considering how much stuff's in this car and how big of a car it is and how small of a motor is up there. So it's pretty impressive. Moving on from pretty much what's in the screen, everything over here, it says pretty much automatic. Windows are automatic down and automatic up. Same thing for the rear windows, rear view mirror controls, and these are also preset to whatever you set right here. So depending on how you drive, when you set it, those go back to wherever you set them to when you first locked in your memory. Over here, we have an electronic parking brake, very useful, even though I haven't used it much, but it's nice to see it there. The trunk is also automatic up and down, and most cars will come with this automatic lighting, so the car will turn its own headlights on and stuff like that. Moving from over there, another little system in the car has active cruise control. I don't know if anyone knows what active cruise control really is, but all that is pretty much the car won't really drive itself, but it will brake and accelerate by itself to keep up with oncoming traffic, speeding up or slowing down. This is to pretty much separate the distance, and this is to close the distance from one car or two car, or pretty much back all the way up to like 4 cars. Set your speed and on, off, or reset if you have to jump back into it. I say jump back into it because once the speedometer falls below 20 miles an hour, you have to jump back into it and actually manually control the car. It does not have what's the word? Not a speedometer. Rev limiter? Definitely not that. Oh, what's the word? An RPM gauge. You're gonna just say an RPM. It doesn't have a tachometer. There it is. It does not have a tachometer. This is not the type of car that would need a tachometer, so they don't even give it to you. It is a CVT, so the transmission just stretches all the way out. But like I said, the way you drive these cars is not even how you're supposed to use it. It's not a sports car, not even the slightest. Moving on from that, on the next stock we have the windshield controls, also automatic. Did not know cars do that, but when you put it in the, so this is like standard. This is the automatic setting, the second flip up, and pretty much like everything else, the car will figure out when it should turn the wipers on, depending on how much rain's coming down, or I guess how blinded the windshield is. The car will make the decision on its own. Over here, volume controls, you know, the talk to the car, I don't want to use that, mute, pick up a call, drop a call, change a song, reverse a song. Since the car is a hybrid, you may notice now the engine is no longer on, but the car is on. If you see right here, that little green light means that the car is able to move, because when it's under 20 miles an hour, pretty much the car's battery is decently charged, the car can operate as a fully electric vehicle until the actual motor is needed for more power, or pretty much to help charge the battery itself. All right, so we pretty much hit everything that's all in this section of the car. If you do have any more questions, don't feel to DM, message me, or drop a comment, and I will get back to y'all on pretty much all of that. So going back to pretty much the same thing like I said, since it is a hybrid, there is no traditional gear shifter or nothing like that. Everything is pretty much controlled down this side panel right here. And for a car that's almost 10 years old, I love how nothing is showing of age. Everything is well kept. The most thing that says it's old is honestly the leather seating. You can see that it's kind of ruffled and a little faded here and there, but for what I'm getting, I can't complain, because it still is a daily and it's still a great car for someone at my age and pretty much what I'm buying, so I'm not complaining at all. That's like minimalist stuff, honestly. Going from there, we have everything else that pretty much also makes the car look really great, It's all touch, not really say touch screen, but touch sensitive. So to turn your volume up, you slide your finger across there. Or you can also do it from the actual steering wheel. Same thing for the heated, not the heated, for the air speed, the fan speed. You slide your finger across. I don't want to do it because it's blowing out some pretty decent air right now, and I don't want to. Well, actually, what am I talking about? Let's go ahead, because I set it on auto. See, Ford took this out of the most recent platforms of the car. I think it's freaking awesome, but I guess since a lot of old people are the ones in the market for this car, this was a little too complicated for them to understand. So they switched back to a normal dial type of lever, which is what I say is more of a step back, because I think it makes the interior look a little more cluttered and busy. So moving from there, like I said, everything else is pretty much climate control, volume and stuff like that. Going into the infotainment, I don't know how many people are used to this. I don't know, sync 1, sync 2. I don't know the difference. I just know it works. I like it. To the right, you have navigation. It's nothing complicated. That's you type in all your stuff to get where you're going. But nowadays, we just use our smartphones. To the bottom, we have climate controls. When you click on that, it lets you choose where the air is coming out. It's dual control, so you have 2 different temperatures going at the same time. Heated and cool seats for both passenger and driver. Auto, and pretty much what you expect from a climate control system. So if you press home, take you back to the home screen. If entertainment hooks up to your phone, you get where that goes. The same thing for that is letting you know your phone is connected, or whoever phone is in the car is connected. It'll show the information right there. If you go through the next settings, the car will show you pretty much what is being utilized at this time. So right now it's telling you that no fuel or the engine is being utilized to run the accessories in the climate. The battery is, like I said, located in the trunk, and that's what's pretty much running everything right now to keep everything like a normal car, air going, lights and stuff on, accessories, that type of stuff. If you go to settings, it gives you more of the stuff you need to do to personalize the car. You have ambient lighting. You guys would not be able to see that now, but you can set the lighting in the car. I have it at red right now, but you have several different colors you can pick from. Freaking love that. It gives the car a nice vibe. The lighting runs underneath these panels right here along there, and same deal in the back along these panels right here. And like I said, it just gives the whole car a nice little vibe at night. Let me go back. Let's see. You know, other type of settings I haven't really needed to mess with. And we go to infotainment or information. I don't know, I said infotainment. More type of things you can personalize the car with. Honestly, stuff I'd never really touch in my case personally, but like I said, the car does everything else wonderfully. All the materials are of course cheap, but they do it so well you can't even tell it's cheap because you're not physically touching them 24/7 to call anything out. Everything is soft and padded. I love it, guys. I freaking really do love it. So over here to far hazard lights, this is automatic parallel parking from my understanding. Not really too many places I need a parallel park, so I'll never really know what this button can truly do, but once you do press it, let's see. The car will search for a parking spot to the right. Obviously we're already in a parking spot, so there's nothing to search for. But I guess if you're in a city and you were kind of hesitant of doing something like that, you got a good old automatic parker bud. This right here is, I believe, pretty much to help your brakes regen faster automatically when you're going down steep inclines or declines, I guess, in this situation. And I want to say that's about it. Like I said, plenty of storage space. I don't know. Well, obviously, since it's not a normal power plant, you can run a lot more storage and stuff like that throughout the car. Glove box to the right, like any car. Pretty nice, pretty nice. They give you a nice little wood trim here with some more trim. Obviously it's plastic, like I said, no big deal for what you're getting out of this car. And to move on next, let's talk about this massive panoramic sunroof, which is my biggest selling point for this car. And fun fact is like a $4,000 option for this car, what I believe so. We're gonna just drop the shade so the shade can drop. I'm gonna show you how far that can go back. And that to me, these cars come with its options, so I really lucked up with this one. And when you're ready to pop the sunroof, boop, sounds like a freaking airplane on the highway when it's letting all that air get into the car. It's awesome, guys. And I believe that's as far back as it can go. Yep, all right. And there, as y'all can see, that's almost Maybach level right there, man. That's literally the entire roof of the car. Let's check it out on the outside. Literally literally down the spine of the car. It goes down so far, it actually almost blinds my rear view vision out of the back of the car, but not enough to where it's actually an issue for me, because I am, you know, not an old person, so I can drive. But freaking love it. You know, most newer cars have the panoramic sunroofs, but not too many actually take the whole roof off and move it down to the back of the car. One of my most favorite pieces about the car, honestly. Car also has the trademark keypad function from Ford. Never set it up, but I definitely gonna think about it. Pretty much you get to type in a code that'll let you lock the car with your keys in it. Say if you're going swimming or something like that and you don't want to keep your keys on you getting wet and stuff, that's where you can keep it in the car once you type in the passcode. When you come back to it, you do the same deal in the car, then unlock while the keys are still in the car. Keys look just like what you'll expect from any Ford product of this year, I guess you can say. From face, it looked like a Mustang key, and then from the back, Lincoln. But it turns out not a Mustang key, just a general Ford key in general. Trunk is also automatic. Press this little keypad down here. Where is that? There it is. And it will open up fully by itself. It can also be done from the keypad. Your little emergency stuff. Also automatic close from the inside. And like I said, this right here is where the battery cell sits in the car. Excuse the shoes, guys. This little lump or this little incline is the battery cell in this vehicle. And this is where the actual battery sits, like a normal car battery. Trunk is fairly big. That lump does take some trunk space, but in my situation, no big deal. And then we do that to close it. And now it's closed. And I want to say I've pretty much hit all the big high points of this car. Some maybe slip in my mind, but like guys, if you have any questions, just ask me about it. And to be honest, I'm going to love to put the car seat onto these, because honestly, I think they're slept on, and I think they are great vehicles, and I think they look great. And to be honest, a few light mods in this car, I think will make it look killer. But this is probably gonna be my daily driver. No mods are gonna ever touch this vehicle. Worst case scenario, if I really do say send it, bags and wheels, but even then I don't even want to do that. I just like the way it is by itself. It drives smooth, it drives nice, it does everything right, and I'm just in love with the price that I got it for, because it's like, I love a good deal and I'm not want to turn down a good deal, so it's great that it does everything right. All right guys, enough of me yapping on. This video is pretty much long enough, and I don't want to take too much of y'all time. So if you have any questions about the new car or even the old car or both the cars, feel free to DM me, message me, reach out to me in any way possible. I pretty much pride myself on responding to just about anybody. That's just about gonna do it for this week's video though. So I need you guys to go in the comment, like, subscribe, share. Y'all know how I did. Whew, I am tired, but we're doing it. And I'll catch y'all next time, man. Hold that dream.